listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
Gotta let it sit in for a little bit.
Like greatest theme
By the
song
time I get
ever.
my books and I give myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to see the
bus drive by.
It's alright, cause I'm saved by the bell. Saved by the AfterBuzz TV tonight.
AfterBuzz.
You can kill that.
And we are doing another after show for Monday Night Raw, July 1st, 2013, live from Sioux City, Iowa. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley, and
We're not live from Sioux City, Iowa.
we are not live from Sioux City, Iowa. Yes, we are live from Los Angeles,
Who are you?
California.
I thought you were Kelly Kapowski.
I am Cathy Kelley Kapowski, hosting the show. And
we're not from Iowa or Indiana.
No.
I'm actually,
Or Indiana.
I lived in Des Moines, so this is kind of close to me. Yeah.
I went to wrestling camp in Iowa.
Yeah. And if you haven't heard or aren't watching, you don't realize that the person who's talking right now, Ryan Clum. Ryan Morals.
That's you over there. That's you.
me. That is me. Hey.
And I'm not Josh Padgett.
Yeah.
No,
Not
Josh Padgett.
I'm
Filling in.
Christian Rosenberg. Josh Padgett's out of town,
Yeah.
so I'm filling in for him this
But
week.
we'll
In
call
New
you
York
Josh.
Hey, you guys keep talking. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, you want to introduce me
I
first?
was gonna introduce you.
No, wait, save it. Save
We
it.
wanted to save the
Save
best for
you.
last.
I forgot my notes.
Your notes. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You want to run out?
You know, it was that thing we were doing before. It kind of distracted me. I forgot. We weren't supposed to talk about that. Go ahead, introduce me. Go ahead.
The thing was, of course, watching Raw.
Yes.
No.
Hey,
That
that's
distracted
what I'm
him.
talking
I
about.
know, right?
Our special
ahead.
guest, our very special guest of the night, Dennis Haskins.
Hey, what's up? I'm already falling down the job. Let me go get my notepad. I'll be right back.
Okay, he will be right back. We're going to talk crap about you while you're gone.
Go ahead.
You realize that? So while Dennis gets his notes, we will
I
start
can't believe he
talking
actually
about...
came back. It's just a return.
I know. He's been on AfterBuzz several times
Back
now.
with a vengeance.
Third time on Raw, second time since we've been doing
And
it.
we love it every single time.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. And he's back.
He's back with notes.
Okay, the truth is, I wanted to see the young lady from Mississippi that was on the other show. With the VH1. Kathy was out there. I had to say hi.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
come on.
One last time.
One last thing.
He's so smooth.
So we're going to
Yeah,
talk
right.
about
Did you talk crap about me while I was gone?
just a little bit.
Kathy did. We didn't.
Oh, sure.
We tried to defend
Hey,
you.
we need to put that picture of you on the air from like 2 years
we
ago
did.
before
We've
the
Done
beard.
that
Have you?
before.
Yeah,
That's a
Stephen
class-
may have
The
it
before and
somewhere.
after.
classic picture.
My before and afters.
Classic.
So at the very end.
Mr. Belding, oh my gosh.
Sit on
He
my
used the bathroom
sit
before
right
I
here.
used
Sit
the
right here.
bathroom. Okay.
Now you just see. You have to get on camera. I want to get you on camera.
Okay.
But this is why I went out because come on.
I'm taking a pen and I'm taking notes.
This is Kelly Kapowski and this is Jesse Spinner.
I'm Jesse Spinner.
And by the way,
Well, pretty much I'm playing Jesse Spinner on my new show called Hit the Floor. Did anyone watch it? It was on.
I've watched it.
You did? Yay.
I'm going to be on it, but in my mind.
Yeah, no, you will be on it now.
All right,
Oh, no, now that you're in the mix, he'll be on it. By
right.
the way, this man is talking to me right now.
By the way,
and I'm like, where are you from? And he goes, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
I didn't do it like that, but I could.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm like, I'm from the
Tennessee.
South too.
Wait, you're from the South?
Yes.
I had no idea from the
Who
accent.
hired the comedian?
I love you so much, Kat.
I love you. Thank y'all for letting me like
All
bombard.
right, if you bounce on my lap one more time, I'm going to have to leave the show. All right,
Mr. Belding.
Hey, I played
Hit
the
the
guy.
floor.
I don't be the guy.
Hit the floor. 9 o'clock Monday night, VH1. Mwah,
See
and
ya.
mwah.
See you.
In pro wrestling,
She's
that's
so
what's-
nice.
In pro wrestling,
that was a
that's,
run-in.
That's what's known as a run-in.
That's a run-in right
That was a
there.
She's
run-in.
so nice. She
That
is
was
so
awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're both from the South, so there you go.
Yes.
Not to be confused with Paula Dean South. Hello. God, golly, what is? Oh, how? What?
She
Did you
just,
say golly or
Wait,
collie?
I thought he said
Hello.
collie.
I said Paula
Because-
Dean. Hello.
Kat Bayless just buttered you up though, so she kind of is like Paula Dean.
Oh, yeah, I can't even go there. I can't even go there. Raw, you're here to talk about.
We
well,
are
I can't
here
even
to
go
talk
there
about
either.
Raw. I do, at the end of the show, I want to talk about A Million Ways to Die in
Yes.
the West.
Oh yeah, I just did
Your
a film
new
with
movie.
Charlize Theron. Seth MacFarlane, one of my heroes. He's just a genius.
He's brilliant.
From Family Guy and also Ted, and they're working on Ted 2. He's got a new series, Dads. all kinds
American
of-
Dad, right? Is that
just
the other one?
something like that. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Seth Green and Giovanni Ribisi. But right now they're working on A Million Ways to Die in the West, which is great with Charlize Theron. I get to work with Charlize Theron and Seth for a week. Okay, wrestling. Let's talk wrestling.
Yes,
Because
wrestling.
actually there was some interesting stuff to talk
I
about.
want to talk about Charlize Theron.
Maybe
There
on
was-
another show.
Wonderful, wonderful person.
So we start off Raw tonight in the office with Vicky Guerrero. She says she created a match later tonight, champ versus champ, Del Rio versus Cena. The match was actually announced on Vicky's Twitter this
Who
afternoon.
else do you guys know that can get the audience crazy with 2 words? Excuse me!
Yeah. Well,
Who else?
Daniel Bryan can do it with one, but a
Yes.
different type of reaction.
But he does, yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
and it's a different
A
type of
positive
reaction.
reaction.
Yeah,
She gets.
There are a
like,
few.
no
As
one
far
else.
as the
she's
heat,
great. She's great.
as far as heat, the only one I can think of that was somewhat close to that, but doesn't goes back in WCW with Lance Storm when he would get on the mic and say, "If I can be serious for a minute,"
Yeah.
and everyone was just like, "No, we're not going to listen to you."
By the way, folks, these 2 guys could write a book of the history of wrestling. You might get a little bogged down in detail, but they have it all. They have it all. Everything you wanted to know and those things you didn't want to know about wrestling.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
It's a wasted youth.
No, I'm impressed.
You were schooling us tonight, though, on a couple
Schooling.
things.
Well, I just called a couple of things.
Yeah.
A little,
Yeah,
little predictable for
a
me.
couple
tonight.
or
It's like-
everything.
Well,
all night long.
I called a lot of the payoffs. But you know
Yeah.
what? It's okay if you look forward to stuff like that because you know what? Here's what I think is going to happen. And boom, it does. You go, oh, I'm so smart. And then next week they fool you.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
But
Henry
also, I
told us a
find,
couple
I'm
weeks
sure
ago.
you find this too, just being in entertainment and having been written scripts, and you understand storylines.
I
and
have
where
to. I
payoffs
have to
are.
tell you though, the writers. I mean, this is all sincerity. They're really good because they'll take you somewhere and you will not know where
Yeah.
they're going.
And it's been good recently.
They've been really good.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
writers
so
this
props to the
past
writers.
month, I think, have been really solid.
Yeah.
Before that, it was a little shaky, but they
Yeah,
changed
they
it
come
up.
and they get,
It was
you know,
hit and miss.
they get solid. You know, when they're pointing towards an event, they get tighter and tighter and tighter. The story works. As a matter of fact, I see the CM Punk, Curtis Axel, Paul Heyman thing paying off in a few weeks because
Right.
they're building it.
Yeah.
They got more tension tonight. We'll talk about that later. But you know,
And
anyway.
it's great when they don't leave storylines in the middle of them because we've seen a
Yes.
lot of that the past few months.
Through-
Like
Um,
Ken said,
You'll see him here.
Like
though,
Ted
yeah.
said?
History, they've just dumped storylines in the middle. Like, we still don't know who was behind GTV.
I was just going to say that
We
one.
still don't know who attacked McFoley in the boiler room.
Hey, we did that on Saved by the Bell. We'd have Kelly dating a different guy every week. Come on.
I don't think that was a dumb storyline. I don't think that
Oh,
was
that's so
just...
funny. You guys are so nice. Hey, so Vicky, we love Vicky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her sidekick's actually, you told me, he's a very good wrestler.
Brad
Maddox,
Maddox,
yeah.
excellent wrestler, yeah.
But they've got this whole thing established now with the triangle of the McMahon family coming to tell
I
them
enjoy
all
this.
I do too.
Yeah.
And they've done this the past couple weeks
Yeah,
now.
and you know, I don't know if we've talked before. This was a request from USA Network.
Yeah.
USA Network said they want more McMahons. They wanted the McMahons back, so that is why we've been getting that.
Now, I since we're
agree with it.
already on this, I got to say that Hunter coming in, they're trying to establish him at the same level of mic work. It's not really mic work. It's the backstage stuff with Stephanie and VKM.
Yeah,
He ain't there yet.
right.
Because holy cow, they're the McMahons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and he is in the McMahon family, but that's I
He's
think
married
don't you
into it.
think
He's a
that's where they're
McMahon in
going?
training.
And it makes it
Yeah.
very interesting,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you have this guy who's a part of the family, but he's not at the
He's a
same
wrestler.
time. Yeah,
But like he's still Triple H. He's
Yeah,
still acting
exactly.
like he's still acting like Triple H, but at
So
the same time
he's crossing over a little
with
bit.
like
That's what you're watching, I think.
yeah, with like a hint of McMahon in him.
Yeah.
hint.
I like it.
Let's go.
I
There's
like
a
it.
line I will not go. No, I will not go. What?
All right, Cathy.
We get a Raw intro for.
Yeah, we haven't had a video
first
like
time.
intro in months.
Yeah.
Like the regular.
I was
start of the show.
almost expecting pyro to be after it. You know, they've gotten rid of the pyro.
But you guys in the opening piece with all the guys coming out to talk thought that there was something wrong with the audio.
Yeah. What an
Yeah, we
amazing
did.
opening piece, though. Getting everyone ready for Money in the Bank, and
Yeah, it was.
we
I
saw-
mean, to me, this is kind of standard. It was okay, but it was standard.
But I think that it was written very well.
I thought
He threw you right under the bus.
No, I thought
Sorry,
they all,
sorry. I mean,
Clum's always right. I don't know if you know that.
Kathy, I agree with you. I thought all six. It is a standard thing.
No, it is
However, they
standard,
all
but
delivered
was-
it very well.
They did
Yeah.
deliver all very well. My favorite was Punk,
But,
personally.
you know, I mean, not to throw you under the bus also, but since he's always right. It was a weekend.
Under the school bus?
It was a week ending. You
Sorry.
know, I mean, okay, the RKO boom, and everybody just leaves the ring. I mean,
Right.
Christian is kind of, but they did what they had to do, and they got 3 hours to fill.
Yeah.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite parts of this was when CM Punk came out and he started saying, you know, normally I wouldn't come out because this is the predictable thing, because this is what always happens on these things. And I love, he's so smart,
He's so
the
good.
way he throws those little twists, because it is, you know, the typical, all the guys coming out to promote the thing, and then he throws that little twist on it. Well, okay, yeah, we've seen this a billion times, but this is the reason I'm coming out. And I really like that.
And you know, you actually, how long was it until they had wrestling? Actually, wrestling.
22
It
minutes.
was like 22, 23 minutes.
We're kind of doing that now. Let's
Yeah.
get to wrestling. Come on, that was good.
So we're just as good as Raw. is what
No,
you're saying.
we don't want to be as
We're just
bad
as
as
good.
we want to get to it quicker. Well, we all want to see wrestling quicker, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we understand the setup. But
Yes.
but give us something quicker.
And sometimes they do. You know, sometimes they start off with a match. Sometimes they have the big promo. And I think
They
you
have
know,
to promote it.
Yeah, and you almost have different parts of the audience. Some of the audience like matches right away. Some of them want the promo. So
And
it kind of goes to
The main
both part of
event
the
is
audience.
the wrestling show.
Yes.
Like they always say that
And
Raw's
NXT
the
as well.
one that's very heavily scripted, and then
Yeah,
main
I was
event.
thrown off on last week's main event because there was actually a long promo on main event from Zeb and Cesaro. I'm just like, that's not normal.
Yeah. So we have also throughout the entire night, we get a lot of video packages of past WWE champs and world heavyweight champs.
Right.
They had Buddy Rogers, Luthies, like
Luthez.
Bob
Luthez.
Luthez. Sorry.
You're not old enough to remember.
Now she's
Luthez.
freaking out.
Because
you're just
people
not
hate
old
me.
enough.
They hate me for not knowing
You're just not old
history.
enough.
I
This goes
know.
back to the 50s.
That's one of the things that's
Yeah.
cool is you're a new fan. You're learning this stuff,
You're
and
learning
people
the
are getting
legend-
to
the
watch
pioneers.
I
You're
know
learning.
who Bob Backlund is. Does that give me any
Because that's one of Maria's best
Yes,
friends.
Maria's
that
best
doesn't count.
Okay. I know who Hulk Hogan is.
That doesn't count either.
She knows who Stone Cold is.
Brooke's getting married. Come on, hey!
He's getting married.
To one of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Even though I thought she was married to Bubba Ray Dudley. Sorry.
Oh, you buy it all.
That's the
don't
story.
I'm so
all of it. I
I'm
totally
so
believe it all.
confused.
you? I'm so.
I think it's all a shoot.
So we go to commercial before we even get any wrestling. Come back with the Wyatt family promo.
Well, you completely missed the Daniel Bryan promo.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
Because we went straight from Vicky to the Daniel Bryan promo.
Daniel
And
Bryan
happened
yelling
with
at
everybody?
Punk.
Yeah.
Kane sticks up
Oh,
for
I'm sorry.
Daniel Bryan.
We did talk
We
about
talked a little
we
bit
talked
about
a
it.
little bit, but we didn't really get into it.
Orton attacks Kane. Punk and Christian and Sheamus retreat. They were out, and Orton's music plays, and Daniel Bryan.
Dan Bryan's looking over Kane.
When was it? Who called them? Whose trolls are? Oh, that was Punk said troll. Was it Punk said?
Was it-
trolls are supposed to whatever?
No, it was Sheamus said that.
Sheamus said that.
Trolls
said
are
that.
supposed to be grumpy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
which was
love that
funny.
line.
And then I also loved when Daniel Bryan and Kane got into the I'm going to be the WWE champion.
No, I'm gonna be the WWE
champion.
Which was a bit full circle from the
Yeah.
beginning of when they first got together with I'm the tag team champions. I'm the tag team
And
champions.
since we're going to stuff like that, you and I, we all talked about this when we were watching the show, but I think Randy Orton has a heart now. I think that when DB was really hurt and he showed the fans, I think the fans are more behind Orton than I've ever seen them.
Yeah.
I'm not ever, but in the last couple of years, in a different way.
Yeah, they love him.
Yeah,
crowd
right?
loves him.
Yeah.
And he had all this edge to him that was different, but they really do pull for him now.
That was an interesting moment a couple weeks ago because that was
Yes.
real, and,
Yes.
and we learned after the show that it actually was a real moment. They had to stop the match and whatnot, and that was a major moment for Daniel Bryan. He was supposed to that was going to
Win
lead.
and-
That was the biggest match of his career.
The
Essentially,
fans may
leading
not know
him.
that. Let them know what the setup was.
Right. And Orton brought up, a good point in the promo because he was talking about it's been about 2 years since he's been champion, and he said like I'm not hungry, I'm starving.
Yeah.
To get
Yeah.
to get the title
Right,
back,
but-
and he might have been the longest, like out of the guys, he might be the longest one that hasn't had one of those titles. I don't know. I would have to double check.
And we
Christian?
still haven't
No,
gotten to
Orton.
wrestling.
When did Christian?
Christian
have
was
it
world
last?
heavyweight champion for a while.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another thing, a lot of people in the chat were saying that the crowd was dead tonight, but they were all yelling you tapped out.
Oh, no. Whoa. Who said they were?
The people in our
The
chat
very
room.
beginning.
The chat room
what?
angered Mr. Belding.
No.
Bad chat room.
No. The very, I just at the very beginning, Daniel Bryan comes out and the fans
Crazy.
went crazy.
Well, yeah.
Fans followed everything you said.
They were a beat ahead of his jokes.
Yes.
They were.
Of his punchlines. So they were only down in the Cesaro Cody match, and they were down in
We'll
the
talk
matches
about that, 'cause
they didn't care about for
And
whatever reason.
There were so many times when they were just silent, but that was because they were listening to what was going on. Like during Mark Henry's, when he was on the mic, they were just dead silent.
Well,
because
they were trying to do what? They were trying to what him, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
had to fight his way through it. And the other thing is, they had Jericho talk. They talked over the whole Miz and Ryback match until the very end. So there was a lot of that going on where the crowd wasn't allowed to be involved. So
Right.
I take your point, chat room. Let's get to wrestling.
So we come back from our first commercial with the Wyatt family promo.
Okay.
They've been plugging these away the last month.
I can't wait for these
Do we
guys.
think that they're going to premiere at Raw next week?
No, they
or
already, they said next week.
They
at
announced
Raw,
that
right?
Wyatt
missed that.
tweeted that they'll
Y'all
be
were
there next
talking.
week.
Yeah.
Y'all were talking?
Yeah.
You know, listen, the WWE, they've been doing this a long time. Mr. McMahon's been doing this, and I do say Mr. McMahon. He's been doing this a long time. They know what they're doing. They know how to set things up. Sometimes it gets us a little upset because they take a little bit longer than we want,
Slow
like
build.
Fandango. But Fandango to me, meant to me for a while. I don't care because it took so long. But then, boom, they know what they're doing.
He was
Yeah.
huge.
There you go.
It's called the slow build.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So the Shield makes their entrance, all come down one aisle. When's the last time they did that?
They've
it's-
started like the last couple weeks. I saw them on
Yeah.
SmackDown last week. They
Okay.
also just went down the stairs by themselves, or by themselves.
But usually,
you know what I mean.
Usually they, I mean, sometimes they do come down all three, but it's usually like Ambrose will come down with those two if they're going to be in a tag. They usually are in different ones when they're a 6-man.
Very
And this is the
good
first time I've seen them come down the same aisle as a 6-man tag. They've done it before when they're accompanying the other guys,
Yeah.
but so it is the first time I've seen them do that.
So we get a recap of SmackDown where the Shield faced the Usos and Christian and lost. Really painful. For
I
them.
love the Usos. Just saying.
I was
Somebody
gonna
here.
ask you. I was gonna
Somebody
ask
did.
you.
No,
Second
somebody.
generation.
I actually really like them tonight. This
Now.
is the first time where,
Now.
because I haven't seen any of their
Hello.
personality.
Do you know their father? Do you know who their dad is?
No.
Rikishi. Look up some of his stuff. Rikishi, I mean, that guy was unbelievable. A big Samoan guy, cousin of The Rock, and I mean, that guy could move, he could dance. I mean, he was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible wrestler, yeah.
And-
actually he teaches a wrestling school not too far from here, but in Sunland, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah. Knox Pro.
Knox Pro.
cool. I mean,
Him and Gangrel run the school.
it's very rare that we get to see their full entrance on Raw, and so I think that's the first time where I really saw
Yeah.
anything from them.
And I
Let alone
think
them
you
having a
need that.
pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
That-
Well, they're on the pre-show, right?
Yes, but to me, that's still technically
Okay.
they got a pay-per-view match because
Yeah.
they're on the night there.
You need that entrance with them. I mean, that's
Yes.
part of their thing. They are not as special without that entrance.
I
That
kind of
entrance
have
is
a
phenomenal.
personal affinity to them because of the whole aloha
yeah.
thing. You know? I just love those guys. I don't know why, because they bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? They're pros. They know, like you said, they're a real tag team.
Yeah, they are real.
They're
together.
not
They're
put together
legit.
tag
They're
team.
legit.
They're a legit tag team. And putting Christian with them last week to have the win over the Shield, I thought was a really good move. And now they came back, and guess what? Happened again.
Do you think they're using Christian properly since they brought him back?
They got to use
Since
them
he's
however
been
they
back?
can.
I like him
I
better
mean-
as a heel. I think Christian
Yeah.
is more entertaining as a heel.
I agree. As kind of a funny heel.
yeah.
His best day when the flash photography moments and all those. Those are
with
my
Edge.
With Edge, that was
Yeah.
the stuff. The Edge Christian stuff was so good.
They'll find it. They'll find it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also a guy who's been around for a long time. I don't know that he's a guy that's really going to be focused again for like any sort of world title run. I would think he's the veteran that's back to kind of help get some of these kids through matches. And
Oh, you think?
And, I mean, I don't think. I mean, maybe we will see. I mean, I could be completely wrong.
I don't
but
think that's what's in his head.
it may not be.
It might not be,
right,
but
though.
I see him.
But-
yeah,
but
I see him in
I
the same
see
route
him-
as Jericho.
Yeah.
Well, but Jericho has a very strong presence.
Yeah,
Like,
but
so good. He
Jericho's-
is so good.
He's
Jericho's farther up on the card, like doing it with
Yeah,
guys like
you're right.
Ryback. I see him doing it a little
But the
bit
younger
lower.
guys.
Yeah, a little bit lower
Fandango
down.
he did and
Yeah.
all that.
Fandango.
Excuse me.
Fandango.
Will you please get it right?
Well, you did that.
Fandango.
We haven't found Fandango Fandangoed in a while.
No. After WrestleMania, it was one night.
And I
that was
asked you guys, the fans took on the song, but you don't think he has the same heat that he had a couple months
Definitely not. I think since he came back
been
from his
hurt, though.
injury.
Well, the injury hurt him.
Well, tonight was the first time he came back
reason,
from his
though, he still
injury.
doesn't have the heat.
Yeah. We'll see.
I missed the real dancer. The other girl's
I
pretty.
do too.
We always
Ever
liked her.
since that was my girl crush, 'cause I loved her so
I honestly
much.
think that added to his
I agree.
bit.
I think that Summer Rae looked phenomenal.
There it
tonight,
is.
Though.
There it is.
I can't believe I'm answering this. Cut! Thank you. Oh my God.
Great in the back. Great timing.
What a great producer.
Thank you,
Only
Steven.
because he listened to me. Okay, so how about Ziggy and Jinder?
Well, we'll mention
What
that
else you want to-
that sick super kick.
Oh, yeah.
That the Uso hit on Ambrose.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's when you
That
became a fan.
Yeah.
That super
Seriously.
kick. That super kick
Oh
was it.
my goodness, what a kick. Time, not just from the wrestlers, but from the cameras, everything it worked. Don't you fans think so? How about in the chat room? What do you think?
Yeah.
Did you like that kick?
And Dean Ambrose on that too. You know, the cocky, I got, and then all of a sudden
Boy,
that
they
comes out of
sold
nowhere
it.
and
Boy, they
catches him.
sold it.
And
He's
not
phenomenal.
falling back, just like kind of falling on his knees. And
Well,
like,
yeah, it's not, but it was the way he was acting before.
Yeah.
You know, he took him up, took his eyes off him a little bit, and then it catches him out of nowhere. It was
really nice.
It was great for
Two
like,
good pros.
her,
Two good pros.
Yes.
Yeah.
foreshadowing.
Ambrose ends up getting the win for the Shield. Pins Christian.
Revenge from SmackDown.
Revenge. And I guess we're going to see another match with them at Money in the Bank in a couple weeks. So.
Yeah, and also, you know, this was. You know, they killed some time on this, but once the hot tag happened, like I was okay with this match. It was
Let's talk about
interesting.
that.
But once you got into the hot tag,
Now explain to those who
this
don't know
match
what the hot
picked up.
tag means.
The hot
Not
tag
everybody
is
knows.
when it's when the guy on the good guys, the baby face, has been getting beat up and beat up and beat up, and finally gets to his partner that he's been trying to tag the entire time. Finally gets to him, gets that tag, and his partner
Then they
comes
got
in
serious.
on just a house of fire, which is actually a lot of times more interesting than a comeback in a singles match.
It was really good 6-man action.
Right, because
everybody was involved.
In a
They all
singles
worked off each
match, you
other.
have the guy getting beat up and he's having to fight through things. In a tag match, the guy comes in house of fire. He's fresh. You know, it's very, very exciting. It's one of the things that's exciting about tag matches is that
Yeah.
hot tag.
But you liked it too, right? That sold you on the Usos?
Yeah, that definitely sold me on the Usos. I have to get Ryan's attention over there, but he
what
wasn't
is that?
looking.
Oh, raise my chair.
He's looking a little
I know.
short.
I'm sitting here
I'm
like,
towering over you right now.
Actually, Kathy's towering over you. And that's
good?
You look about 3 feet taller.
How about that?
He grew in size.
The people watching at home don't realize
That's
that,
so
that
funny.
Ryan is 7'2".
No, I'm 6'2" in my boots. 6'1", really.
So we go to the locker room, Kane and Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah.
Kane is disgusted with Daniel Bryan. He said, "You done,
How good are they together?
You've done
They're
enough.
Oscar and Felix.
You cost me the match." And then Daniel Bryan says, "I talked to Vicky. Don't worry about it. I got you a rematch against Randy Orton, and I've also been named the special guest referee."
That was awesome.
And for a monster of Kane to see, like, in that short period of time, the different emotions that you saw.
my gosh.
Annoyed at Daniel Bryan, happy that he got the match, and, like, then all of a sudden just furious that Daniel was going to be the ref.
They just have great timing in the ring and
Everywhere.
in the locker room. Like, they're
evol-
amazing everywhere.
The evolution of their relationship, just from where it started last summer, and like it was August, September, I think it was a little bit post SummerSlam. They put them together. It's like every time you think, okay, it's getting a little bit boring. I'm the weekly. They switch it up. They've switched it up like 7 or 8 times over the last 9 months.
We're all happy for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kane's been around for a long time, but Daniel's like really
He deserves it.
just.
Let me ask you, you guys think 3 years down the road he might be face of the company? You think he could be do you think it's a possibility?
I think he'll definitely have had a WWE title at that point, but
Okay.
I don't know that he'll be the face of the company.
Do you think he could be like, I guess, seen as a face of the company, but could he take like a CM Punk spot? Could he be CM Punk? Could he
No.
be at that level?
They'll be at the same level, maybe.
Right.
Maybe the same level, but no.
It might be.
Different style.
It might be
I would say
Ziggler and
yes,
Jinder.
Yeah, but I'm
but
talking about on the
short-lived.
I'm
You know
talking about
why?
on the card perspective
Well,
as far
listen,
as money, going to talk shows, doing all
First
that
of
stuff.
all, the guy is phenomenal skills. Phenomenal
Incredible.
skills. He's one of the best I've ever seen. Seriously, his
have
skills
called
are
him-
unbelievable.
People have called him the best in the world since he was in the Indies.
Oh, Punk might be upset with you when you say that.
but they have been.
But okay, so but he's a different. His whole thing has comedy in it.
Mm-hmm.
None of the other guys, they're all business. So until that changes, no.
Okay.
When that changes, you guys know.
Yep.
The main guys it's real deal, hardcore wrestling. That's why you're watching them. That's why you care.
Yeah.
Daniel is that good.
That's true.
But he's got the comedy thing going in a little. So that's all I'm saying.
I mean, I guess case in point, Mark Henry. Until he became the Hall of Pain and that killer. I mean, the sexual chocolate thing. It was a very, very different. It wasn't until he became that very serious guy is what put him to that next level.
And just in case people don't know, I've been watching wrestling since I was 10. Okay.
Wow.
So that's why I have an opinion. Anyway, go ahead.
So for about 10 years?
Yeah, about 10 years.
Who are your favorites? Who are your favorites growing up? Like,
I listen. I grew up in the South, so here's what was really cool. I lived in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay.
And down there was WCW, ECW, all that stuff down south. Those guys, the Russians, and these guys, and those guys, well, Saul Weingroff, they would come work in the afternoon, do local TV, and cut and bleed and gig and all that stuff, and go down and work Saturday night. You know, so and a friend of mine, Pennsylvania Watley, Pistol Pez, went out of high school, went and worked with all those guys. So there was a bunch, of course, Flair back in the day,
Right.
All the Four Horsemen and
did you
everything
like
else.
watch all the Memphis stuff and Jerry Lawler
No, I didn't
and
get
all
the
that?
I didn't get Memphis, but obviously the King. I love the King.
Yeah.
I just love the King.
Oh, he was incredible back then. They said
He's still incredible. I mean, as his he has a spot. He's got his spot. Everybody talks about spots.
Right.
He's got a spot.
And I don't remember what the share was, but that Memphis television show used to pull like one of the
huge.
greatest, like 80% of the town, or like it was incredible the amount of people in that town that watched that show on television.
People may not realize that the whole thing with Andy Kaufman was on the Memphis show, not on the major stuff.
Nope.
Vince
That was all
actually
Lawler.
said, Mr. McMahon actually said, "Congratulations! I never would have done that, but it was great." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's
The one from the local TV stuff to Letterman.
Jerry Lawler was a god there in those days. He was an absolute god in
mess
that
with the
town.
king.
Yeah,
Still is.
yeah.
But I know what you mean, bringing the heat. And then how about the thing? Do you guys remember the thing with Letterman when Andy Kaufman?
Oh, yeah.
was-
Right, yeah.
When
Yeah,
Jerry
yeah.
went on,
When he slapped Kaufman.
how about when he dropped Letterman? He really slipped him. He really slept him. He put him out. He put him in a sleeper. Letterman was going. Back then, the wrestlers were upset that people called it fake. So Jerry showed David Letterman how it's not fake, and he dropped him.
Yeah,
Made him
and
look.
I remember Hogan
And
did
you
that
know what's
to
funny
Richard
is
Belzer, too.
That whole Letterman thing for years, they never admitted that till the Andy Kaufman movie came out was the first time they admitted that Letterman was in on that.
No, he wasn't.
I think it was, or was
no.
it the
Jerry
book?
Jerry did an interview that Letterman got upset because it was between the King and Andy, and they took it away. They were supposed to go one direction at the end, and they didn't. They went.
They
went
went all
Gonzo.
over.
Yeah.
They went Gonzo, and then the numbers went crazy.
Yeah.
But that's my understanding of it, because that's Jerry. I just saw an interview with him recently, but also I'm a the whole Andy Kaufman thing was amazing.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
I'm a big
you
Tony
doing?
Clifton fan.
Oh
It was before my time. I don't know what's going on.
You're doing great.
So
We're in a
Ziggler
time warp
comes
there
out.
for a minute. People are like,
Ziggler comes
Dolph?
out. You made the.
love-
What, Jerry Lawler was a wrestler? What are you
Yeah.
talking about? He's an announcer, isn't he?
I just said Dolph
you said
Ziggler
he
makes
looks bigger.
anybody. He is bigger.
Yeah.
His face is bigger. Like you guys said, he had time to
Yeah.
go stay at home and work out, but he's literally bigger. So, and I think that helps
You're
him.
correct.
I think it helps him. He's got mad skills with quickness and stuff, but I think to be on top, you got to be bigger.
Yes.
Don't you? With Cena, I mean, I know Punk's not, but still.
Right.
You know.
It
He
doesn't
looks
hurt.
healthier and rested too.
When I was at a Ring of Honor tryout seminar a couple months ago, and they told us you will never not get booked because your body is too good.
Oh yeah.
And that is one of the things they said, and it's important. They
Big
said
E.
you will, yeah,
Come on.
absolutely. They said
I
having too
actually
good a body will
saw.
never
I was
hurt
in
you.
Chattanooga, Tennessee, a year and a half ago when they came through the house show, and they were already trying out the Dolph Big E thing. He just came out with them. Took a year to have that come together, but that's how good they are.
Yeah.
That's how really.
It's
They
come
did,
together. I love Big E. He's
AJ and
good.
Ziggler got engaged or married on a house show like a couple
did
months
they
ago.
try-
Remember
yeah, I
about
think they
that?
tried
They
something
never
out,
brought
and-
that to fruition, but maybe
Yeah.
in like another 10 months.
Yeah, you know, sometimes they're
Well, I
always trying
think
things out. They
they're
do that.
separating Dolph and AJ.
Yeah.
They're separating.
Yes.
them.
'Cause we haven't
because
seen
he's
them
too
together
good
though.
on his own. And as we're talking, we're going to go into the gender match because I said to you guys, Dolph makes anybody look good, and you're talking about how good Jinder looked. I said that's because he's with Dolph.
You're 100% correct. We were talking about wow, Jinder looks great
I was like,
tonight.
Jinder.
I said, you know why?
From this,
And you guys said he's wrestling.
Yeah, because he's wrestling Ziggler.
Yeah.
Because
You're
Jinder looked like he should be
puts
feuding with
everybody
Axel or
over.
something
Yeah, he
right
puts
now for the
everybody
IC
over.
title.
Yeah.
And that's when people go, oh my God, you should be in more matches. Yeah, no, it's Dolph. But I mean, Jinder's gotten a lot better. I don't want to crap all over Jinder because he's
3 and
improved
B,
a lot.
Yeah, he couldn't.
All around has gotten better.
Yeah,
But Dolph is definitely.
I don't like 3 and B.
Really, I enjoy them.
Yeah, you enjoy them, but not for the wrestling skill because they're
No.
fun. Because you make fun of them, not with them.
Yeah.
Could they
But I
ever
think
be
you can-
anything other than a jobber?
I think you can
They
completely
can.
flip the switch on that when
Yes.
it's time. Right
Yes.
now, but right now they're the fun jobbers. But we said before,
I gotta
it's-
say they've sustained.
Yeah, it's the correct type of jobber to be. It's
Yes.
got focus.
Based
it's got
on
a
wrestling.
character. Yeah, it's not just
they're funny.
Bob from the next town over. Yeah,
And definitely sign of the night was there was a poster that said like
yes.
3MB's #1 fan, and then the number 1 was crossed out, and then under it said only.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That's awesome.
We also talked about, for me, I don't like the way the commentary is going now because I really enjoyed the dynamic. It's not against JBL. Nothing against him.
JLB.
Huh?
JBL.
JBL.
That's what I said, JBL.
I dyslexic.
Hey, my office now.
What are you correcting the principal for?
I was right, right?
yeah,
you were good.
you were 100% correct, sir.
You're good.
I got your nose.
I need an ear.
I got your nose. I got your nose. Remember that? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, give it back. Okay. Stop it. There's the laugh. Thank you very much. Okay. I miss the dynamics of the King. I miss Cole and the King. Those two know each other so well, and you had opposites. And you had them talk about the match. They could sell stuff when they're supposed to. Boom. But with 3 guys, we talked about 3 guys versus 2.
I'm not a big fan
a
of the
fan of 3 guys,
Yeah,
and it's
right.
nothing against JBL, nothing against him because he's earned the right to be there. But it dilutes everything. But I got to say, at the end of the Ziggler Jinder match, the King's like, he loved what Ziggler did. At the end.
Well, like the escape
The end was
route.
excellent.
That was outstanding.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite moments of the
1-on-3.
night was the end when they were trying to get Ziggler and he kept outsmarting
Yes.
him.
When you've got the King going, wow.
Yeah.
And he was. He's-
Yeah, he was just a natural.
He was taken in,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
He's been there forever, and he loved what they did, and
Yeah.
so did we.
And that was
wide
actually
shot when he
babyface
was
stuff
on
right there.
Exactly.
Announce table.
Announcer
Yeah.
table. That was amazing. There was actually one point in the match that I wanted to call out when gum flew out of Ziggler's mouth, and I thought
right.
it was a tooth. It looked like a tooth
you
for
thought
a
so.
second.
And we talked about at the very end. I asked you guys. I said, "He's chewing gum all the time," and you said,
Mr. Perfect.
"It's a tribute."
It's got, I would think,
If he wouldn't do it otherwise,
Right, and I mean-
you don't do anything by accident on these guys.
Mr. Perfect's son obviously is wrestling
yes.
there, but Ziggler to me is really
He's doing- yeah.
this year
he's doing a
generation's version of Mr. Perfect.
Well, he's doing a tribute.
And the way
I'd rather put it that way.
he bumps, the way he sells, everything about
It's
it,
very
he's very,
similar.
very similar to Mr. Perfect. It's excellent.
I'm so protective of Dolph because I love the guy. I mean, I've known him for
and
several
that's
years.
not a
because-
negative thing.
No,
That's-
but
I mean-
but I just want him to have his own. I think he works so hard. He's been so committed. He takes everything on the chin. When they didn't promote him, he didn't say a word. He just worked, and he gives everybody everything he's got. And so he's developed his own. Yes,
Absolutely.
he's got the blonde hair. I think it's nice he's doing a tribute, but I think
He's
Mr.
not a
Perfect
carbon
was
copy.
Mr.
I'm not
Perfect.
saying that.
That's all.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah.
he's a carbon copy.
he's-
Like us as wrestlers, I actually.
That's my guy.
You're fighting the
I
same
take,
thing.
That's my guy.
I take stuff. Actually, a lot of people have compared my character and stuff to Mr. Perfect as well. Not my wrestling ability, but the character, the way I carry myself, and Bret Hart. So you take the guys you grew up watching and
you
kind
incorporate
of
it.
incorporate
That's
it
a
into you
much
and try
better
to
way
do
to put
your
it.
own thing. So
He's definitely his own
The
guy.
reason I compare him is because the way he sells is very similar. They do some of the similar type of selling,
gives everything he's
which
got.
is
He puts everybody over.
right.
I think he
Because-
does like a lot of people. Yeah, I just want to keep them
Right.
separate.
Kurt Hennig was like the greatest seller of all time
so
in
it's
one of my
paying
opinions.
homage, but not.
It's not carbon copy
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
No, not at all a carbon copy. He's his own guy.
Don't mistake the fact
No.
that he really likes him. He thinks he's good on his own, and he's just carrying a few. Never mind.
So we go to the office. Bricky is bickering, and this is when Triple H steps in, says, "I came here to tell you you're doing a great job."
This is Trip, right?
Yeah, there's Triple
Talking
H.
about Triple H. Yeah, I
Oh
got
yeah,
stuff
Triple
to
H.
say.
And he says, "I came here to tell you you're doing a great job with the show tonight. It's because you're giving the fans what they want, but don't listen to the fans. Do what I say."
Now, who likes the backstage segments with Triple H versus Stephanie and Mr. McMahon?
I like them all.
I'm enjoying it so far.
I like all three of them because of the different dichotomies of them.
But don't you think they're working on the future for Triple H?
Don't you think that they did this one first because it was going to be?
Well, he's the first one to set up.
Yeah.
Right? He's the easiest one to set up. But I just think that he's trying to be. It's kind of like you comparing Dolph to Mr. Perfect. That he's trying to be the next. He's gonna be the next Vince.
Yes.
McMahon. He is.
Yeah.
He's in the family. He's gonna be the company, and it's coming to him.
In 10 years, he's running the company.
You don't think that Stephanie could be the next Vince? I mean, why isn't she?
Well, yeah, he could. No, I don't know, because it's a male-dominated thing.
Yeah, no, they're setting up in real
It's a
behind the
male-dominated
scenes.
show.
Yeah.
Real behind the scenes. Triple H is the heir
he's the
apparent.
guy.
He is taking over.
Yeah, he's the guy. I know my stuff.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm
Why
just
do you
saying,
keep doubting
when
me,
the
Kathy?
Cameras are off,
Why
I
do
feel
you
like
keep doubting me?
She wears the pants.
Okay, wait, stop.
Well,
Whoa!
let's
Okay, all right, do it to me. Go ahead.
Excuse
Go ahead. Excuse me. I'm treating you like Vicky.
But it's interesting because Vince has a
Sorry,
son,
that
Shane,
wasn't right. That just
who
wasn't right.
a lot of people thought the heir apparent, and then
She
Stephanie
literally
and
kissed
Triple
my
H kind of took over. So
Sorry.
it'll be Triple H.
Sorry. But I just think Trips, listen, he's got a little ways to go to be, and he's transitioning. That's all I'm saying. So I hated that crowd. And they go backstage, sell the bit. Don't go away from it. They would cut away from it
To the
every
Titantron
time.
shot.
Every backstage segment.
You counted down 30 seconds. Here it comes. To show the crowd watching the screen. We haven't forgotten the crowd's there.
We can hear them.
We're trying to watch what you're showing the crowd watching. Why take us out? That dilutes the focus.
Yeah.
And that was just a director's
That
call.
was a director's choice. I kind of disagree with that.
I understand.
Yeah.
That got old quick.
Yeah.
So we get a video promo of Mark Henry.
That's page 1. Okay.
Like the whole career of
Yes.
Mark Henry
From the very beginning to
That was
where
great.
it is
Cool.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
I mean, they did a great job with this.
We shouldn't spend a lot of time on these.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Well,
We've got 2 hours to get through, and we got to talk about his movie.
Mark Henry has become a new man. Mark Henry's a new man.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that later. We're putting everybody. He's
Absolutely.
a new man. All right.
Orton versus Kane
Yep.
with Daniel Bryan as the guest ref. Daniel Bryan, I loved how he held
Hold his ears when the
Kane's
fire went off.
That was
pyro
excellent.
goes off, yeah. And then, overall, great match. Orton.
A lot of fun story
Yeah.
stuff in here. A lot of fun story stuff.
I'm
one
tired
point-
of the holds for the commercials, and I know they have to
Yeah.
do it, but it's coming. It's,
I'm not a big fan of stopping for commercial breaks. You have
yeah,
to.
you have to, but that's
it's,
something.
But then you tune into the WWE app.
Yeah, which
Which
we
is
can't
cool.
do because we're on the West
We're on the
Coast.
West Coast, so we can't do it anyway.
Yeah, they need to fix that.
So
They
Orton
need to fix
barely
that.
touches Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan
Hey, he
calls
shoved
the match
him.
a DQ.
He shoved him.
I mean,
Oh, stop it! Stop it!
I used to
No.
ref. You put your hands on an official, you ring that bell.
You
he
ref
did
in
it
the
again in the
WWE?
second
Never
match.
been there.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah, you're going.
They were,
I'm trying as a commentator.
All right, so
One
let's
day.
get serious about this because we talked about all 4 of us talked about an interesting dynamic at the end. What was really going on with Daniel and Kane and the match? Was it you thought that Daniel was?
Was trying to help Kane win.
Oh, he
Yes.
was. That's
Yeah.
all it was.
No,
Yeah,
that's not all.
you're correct on this.
Yeah.
Third time I have to correct you.
No, you were
No,
correct
and
on
then
this.
when you said this, I agree with you.
I finally, to me, like we're talking about storylines and plots.
Yeah.
The really cool thing about this is he's so good. He did it last week with the when he helped Kane win or whatever. That he is trying to make it look like he's helping Kane, so it'll look good for him.
Right.
So Kane didn't do it on his own. He can only do it with Daniel.
But Daniel does it on his own.
Exactly.
Daniel beat Randy on his
Thank
own,
you.
but Randy needed Daniel's help.
wasn't just that. See, it was more
100%
than that.
correct.
Yep.
Well,
you're
What do you
brilliant
think,
on that.
Kathy?
Dennis Haskins
What do
will
you
be
think?
hosting next week.
No. Honestly, I'm just saying it's actually a terrific job they're doing.
It is.
It is.
This is one of the best storylines period going on right now.
Yeah.
It's not the best.
And
storyline.
you're-
One of, I said. That's
you're,
4.
And you're seeing
I said one of.
Amazing development over the
What's your
history
favorite-
with
what's your
their
favorite storyline?
relationship.
What?
What's your favorite storyline that's going on right now?
I mean, I would say Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Right. And you're seeing like
I'm
a
just
heart,
saying that,
a heart
no.
and feelings out of Kane now, which is something you've really never seen.
How you never would have thought that would happen?
It's so funny.
How did they do that?
Like
That's
Kane-
how good they
Kane's
are.
Good
feelings
writing.
are hurt.
Kane,
What?
Kane went from first not talking, and then to
To
and
having
then
a scarred head.
the mask off. The evolution.
Mask back.
The evolution of Kane is incredible. Even if you want to go back to Dr. Isaac Yankem,
How about the fake
Jacobs
Diesel?
and the fake Diesel? I mean, he's been around forever.
But this is called chemistry.
Yeah.
These two guys have
Yes.
chemistry, and they have included Randy Orton in their chemistry.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's amazing. I just love stuff. You guys gotta love this
You
stuff.
know what? You know
love
what's fun
wrestling.
too,
You gotta
and
love
I'm
this
sure as an actor you would appreciate this because I know actors always try to crack each other up, sometimes, but like
some
these.
guys.
Well, I guess maybe wrestlers, but like you see these guys sometimes getting at it, you can see them trying not to laugh. Like you can see them at times that they're having so much fun. Not every time, but sometimes you can tell like
About to
Daniel
break.
Bryan's trying not to laugh on some of the
but
stuff.
we talked about that a little bit. Daniel was smiling, which was in character for him.
That part, yeah,
was in
I'm not
character.
talking about tonight. but-
No, I actually at a house show saw a couple of guys that are big time guys, kind of kidding with each other because they could, because they work so hard.
Oh, yeah.
I have we all have such respect for these men and women that are doing this job, right? From not just the wrestlers, Justin and everybody else. So. These guys they prepare every week for Monday and Tuesday, which becomes Friday. I think they do everything they can to be really serious. They're the best in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just Punk. They're the best in the world. And so anyway.
And they're live, which very few.
Such
TV
respect
shows,
for them.
yeah.
Very good point, Cathy Kelley.
So, thank you. Finally, I make a good point.
You've been doing fine. I'm going to catch heat because people like you and I'm in trouble.
I think
Putting your
people
hand
like
on your
you
mouth.
more than me.
No, it's not true.
So let's talk about after the match real quick. Kane ends up grabbing Daniel Bryan by the neck, choking him. Kane ends up leaving.
And the
then
crowd's calling for him
Oh my
to slam
gosh.
him. They turned on Daniel for it because they just wanted to see the move.
The crowd was
Like
so
you were saying.
amped up during this segment.
But then the feelings and emotion of Kane is like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave.
But the move that they saw was
RKO out of
Thank
nowhere.
you. Go on.
Everyone loves that
RKO out of
RKO.
nowhere.
I love the RKO.
Yeah. So backstage, CM Punk, Heyman, and Curtis Axel. CM Punk says that he can't trust Heyman, or he can trust Heyman, but not Axel.
Says, I trust you, I don't trust him.
They're gonna go up against.
So let me
primetime
just talk
players.
about
PTP.
Curtis Axel real quick.
Okay.
Love this guy. He's one of the guys.
And a lot of people don't, so that's very
Well,
interesting.
I don't mean. I mean just.
You know his backstory.
I know his. I not only know his backstory. I know that he is one of the true guys in the his family history. But a lot of people do know history, like Vicky Guerrero and everybody
Yes.
else. There's a lot like the Usos. There's a lot of family history.
Yeah.
He didn't say a word. He worked hard. Michael McGillicuddy, he's in dark matches. He didn't say a word. He trained The Rock.
Yep.
He
Yes.
trained him.
Yeah.
And he's finally getting a shot. And because of the history, and because of the way he handled it, and he's good. He isn't coming in with minor skills. He's
Right.
got skills, and he's handling the storyline really well. I just am happy for him personally because I'm aware. I know him a little bit. I just think, wow, this is how a real pro handles his business. In that organization, you guys know better than anybody. Protect your spot.
Oh, yeah.
And there's all these spots, and you hope you get a spot. And he waited and he waited and he waited, and he got his spot.
Yeah.
Happy for him.
I think the thing they did on SmackDown with the whole thing with Heyman and Miz, like that's to me where the first time I saw Curtis Axel, like, okay, he's starting to figure
Coming
his
into his own.
character out a
Exactly.
little bit.
Yeah.
He was yelling back at the
Yeah.
Miz, like I like that. That's the first time I feel since they've made him Curtis Axel, even that I've seen him as McGillicuddy, like a little personality started to come out, and I'm like, okay, maybe there is something
Well, yeah,
because he's got the wrestling skills. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, the one thing that Axel needed some work on is
Character.
the character and to be able to talk. That's why you put him with the best damn talker there, Paul Heyman.
right.
So
But-
he
but-
can
but-
be
but-
behind Heyman while he works on it.
But you put who's Brock Lesnar with Heyman. Brock Lesnar doesn't talk.
Right.
Because he's not as good at talking. Neither is
Monsters
Ryback.
don't need to talk.
Neither is Ryback. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Although Mark Henry's amazing.
He is amazing.
Henry is a
He
whole
is
nother
amazing.
level.
But let's stay on topic for a second. Because the whole thing with Curtis, now with Punk involved and with Heyman involved, he's holding his own.
Yep.
He's right in there with him. He doesn't have the experience, but he's not. It doesn't let down when it goes to him.
Right.
So tonight, when he's in there taking the match, it worked. that Punk got upset.
Yes, yeah.
It worked that Heyman wasn't paying attention. It worked when he hit him on the shoulder at the end.
Yeah.
You know, all of that worked because he's ready.
Yes.
And we'll talk about his match later in the night. Before we
we
get to
just
that.
did. I was kidding. I'm kidding.
We'll touch on it a little bit more. Fandango.
I didn't make any notes. I didn't make any notes. Not one
is
note.
back.
Not
about
one
him?
note. No, that's how much
I like the old school heat at the beginning of the match with Sheamus.
And also,
when
I
he was
just want to
dancing
mention
around.
Bob Backlund and Dusty Rhodes is who they mentioned for
Oh,
the
yeah.
world,
Oh, yes.
the world champs.
I've been
Bob
skipping
Backlund,
over them because
Maria-
we talked about a bunch of them
But
already.
of course, Bob Backlund, Maria Menounos, his friend, who she inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
And she
so.
actually knew before she became famous. So
Yeah.
I hear great things
Way back
about the young man doing Fandango, and I like Sheamus. We all like Sheamus
Yeah.
a lot, and we actually talked about Sheamus's dynamics, a chemistry issue actually, when he's on stage doing the other stuff because it's not in his environment.
Yeah.
He's having to swim in somebody else's water with
Sandow?
Sandow.
Sandow,
Yeah. So while he may be looking a little, he's not weak. He just isn't
No.
in his arena.
yeah.
Yeah, and
I like Sheamus.
I have friends who are good friends with Fandango and just tell me that he is honed in right now.
He's good.
Like he is there.
He's got skills.
Yeah, and I guess he's been wrestling since he was 14.
Yeah. I hear he's a great
I was
guy.
told, yeah. He's 26, I think.
So he comes out with Summer Rae, who is not your favorite.
No. I don't dislike her. I just the other girls
dancer
was
is
a
a real
pro.
dancer.
Yeah.
Well, the other
Was a
girl was a
real-
better dancer, yeah.
And it sold.
But Summer Rae's a
it
diva.
sold the bit.
Did you hear? Do you know the story about her?
No.
She's a college student, and so she wasn't able to make it because of finals.
Finals, yeah.
Really? The
Yeah.
dancer?
Dancer, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, it's good
Yeah.
for Summer Rae.
Summer Rae has gotten a little bit better with dancing,
has.
especially since
She has.
Fandango's come back.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
and it
probably
makes sense to have her because she's on a roster, and you don't have to hire someone extra to fly
right.
in.
You're
She's
right.
already there under contract, so I mean, that makes sense.
I thought that's what he did.
I mean, like Ziggler hurt, so going to the gym. Fandango hurt. Summer Rae's not going to be on TV. Give her maybe some dance lessons in the off time.
I was gonna say she looks fit now. I
She
mean,
was
she
right.
was
She's
already
before,
done it.
but
Maybe
yeah.
from the dance class.
Or
well,
two.
she's don't
Or
forget,
two.
she's still in NXT. I mean, she's
Yeah.
still down there doing that. She still goes to practice
And they're
probably
fighting for
every day.
the Divas
The
NXT
women.
Yeah,
And I don't
NXT
dislike
women's
her.
title.
Please don't misunderstand. I don't dislike her. I just thought the other edge of the girl really being a dancer helped sell the
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
But obviously we all know this girl from NXT, and we're happy for her too.
Yes.
Definitely.
So Sheamus makes his entrance. Crowd is absolutely amped when he comes out.
Loved him tonight.
They love him all the time. He gets in bad situations sometimes.
He's been a bully.
Do you think?
For a little
He has
bit.
been a bully, but they've kind of pulled the bully thing back the last couple weeks. He wasn't
I
bullying
think this
last
last week for sure. Yes.
Last
bullies
week he
people
did,
that
he did
deserve
bully-
it.
Yeah, but no,
on.
Face,
Am I
though.
right?
You can't
Well,
do that.
But baby faces shouldn't be bullies.
Yes.
He's not really. I mean,
Well,
he
no,
takes
no.
people out to have it coming.
Unprovoked.
He was going out
on
and
it.
pushing Damien's on, go get out of here, you nerd, and unprovoked. I mean, he was acting like the jock that's a dick
No,
in
I
school.
disogree.
My
The
favorite.
guy that
I
when he
think he
kicked the
was.
computer because we were done with the computer.
just don't
Yes,
like
you're a nerd.
Santa.
Get out of here.
Oh, come on.
No, it's not. I don't dislike
I
Santa.
can't believe I'm hearing a principal make fun of
Yeah,
nerds.
My
see,
favorite
I'm not
part-
offending the nerds because I was the geek in
I'm
high
supporting.
school.
I'm
Favorite
supporting
part.
Shane.
Favorite part was when Sheamus does his little
You would have
dance
defended
move.
all those guys.
Oh yeah, when he
making
mocked
fun of me in high
Fandango with the
school.
dancing, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
Seamus points to the ref because he got the ref
Yeah.
to laugh.
Yes, he does.
And you know, I gotta say too, I loved all the stuff with Fandango ducking and doing his little dance stuff before. I mean, all that stuff.
Just bounce off the top rope.
And kept refusing to lock up. And if you notice, the audience really started to come up on that when
got
he
angry,
would
which is
duck,
good.
get out. You know, that's how to get heat. That's an amazing way to do that. That's really old school.
Yeah.
And it works. I mean, that stuff works.
But
It
you
was
got
great.
upset when he wasn't. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. I can't. He's not coming.
He's done that before.
Yeah,
in
that's his
matches.
thing.
Yeah,
That's-
he
I
does
mean,
that, which it's
a
a count
lot.
victory, which is good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Kind of
you know,
fizzled though this time, don't you think? If you don't still have the heat that you
I
had
think
before,
it's just playing the
you got to
chicken.
build it back.
Well, it
The
would-
chicken S heel. You know,
Well, and it was also
uh,
interesting being Fandango just came back, and he's part of the World Heavyweight Title Money in the Bank match.
This is his first match
It's
back,
first
yeah.
match back.
Okay.
Sheamus was in that big promo at the beginning of the
Yes,
show.
yes.
So neither of these guys should lose.
They
So
wanted Sheamus to put Fandango over?
Well, I'm
it's
not,
protecting
neither.
both of them.
I think it's protecting both of them
Yeah.
because
Alright.
it's like it was odd to just pair them up in this situation
Yeah.
with Fandango's return. So Fandango leaving from count out doesn't hurt either.
I enjoyed some.
But that's
of the
why you guys
moments
are
of
here
this.
every week, and I'm only here once every once in a while. I'm just saying, fans. I'm just saying. I actually made a note that you guys really know your stuff, and you bring game to this, which is really important. It's fun for me to come in here because I mean I'm a fan, but also involved. But you really know what you're doing, and it's really good for these guys.
Thank you.
Well, I
you.
actually wrote it down, but it's on that page. It's gone.
He's also pointing to you guys when he says you know.
Oh no! I mean, for how long you've been watching this, you've learned a lot.
How many times have you hosted this?
Hosted?
Yeah, right now.
Like
Since Smiley's
3.
been gone 3 or 4.
So congratulations, you're doing a great job.
Doing very good.
Yeah.
Well, let's a hand for Cathy Kelley.
Cathy Kelley.
Big
Cathy
shoes to
Kelley. No one else. All right.
I'll do it.
Cathy Kelley.
Kathy Kelley, where are you? Kathy Kelley. How's that?
We're running out of time.
Yeah.
I do
And I
want
know
to talk
you
about
guys
War
wanted to
Games
talk
for
about,
2 seconds because
Yeah.
we got to get through this last hour real fast. Or I mean, we got an hour and a half still. But War Games
an hour.
is something I would love to see brought back.
Yes.
Old WCW
Yes.
thing. It was essentially 2 rings put next to each other with a cage and a roof on it, and it is an amazing match. Usually,
It was pretty much it was a
4
hell in a
4?
cell over 2 rings.
And it was an 8-man usually in it. I forget how
You
it
guys are
usually
getting
worked.
so
but
excited
know.
about
War
this.
War Games was awesome.
Okay, now where? And this tied in tonight where?
There
the
was a
DVD
commercial
is
for the
coming out.
DVD
Yeah.
for the War
I
Games.
just want for them to know.
Supposedly-
So you guys got psyched not
Oh,
because of
yeah.
the match,
No.
because of the promotion for the DVD.
For the promotion of
Yeah,
DVD, and
the
so
War
it makes us
War
like,
Games.
why?
Right.
If Vicky wants to impress the McMahons, bring back War Games.
But
Have the
they're-
Shield versus someone else in a War Game.
So-
Note
Are
to
they
chat
gonna
room.
do a WCW
promoting
gimmick though?
I wanna
I
know-
don't think they will, but I would love to see it.
I want to know, which are you going to buy first? War Games or The Call on DVD?
War Games.
I'm probably gonna buy
Even though
War
the call's
Games.
supposed to be good. I heard the call was good.
Do you know The
No,
Call
I
with
just think-
Halle
And
Berry
Yeah, it was like the
and
first
War Games,
WWE movie.
War Games is
That was
like
an easy
6
one.
hours of matches. The
Okay,
Call's like a
okay.
90-minute movie.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
moving on. Ryback and
Miz and Ryback.
Yeah.
Miz and
Yeah.
Ryback.
Cry back.
Jericho comes on commentary.
First. Came out first.
And and then we get into the Ryback versus Miz match. And I want to mention actually really quickly, Maria, our creator, did an amazing charity event this past week at the LA Children's Hospital, and there was actually a kid there, Lawrence, who was a huge fan of WWE, and Miz ended up calling in from Bismarck.
That's awesome. Wonderful.
Jericho was the other one who ended up calling in.
Oh, that's great.
Lawrence wanted to put them in a match against each other at SummerSlam, is what he
that's
said.
funny.
So it was really cute to see that happen.
You want to go to school on how to talk and how to be, follow Y2J.
Oh
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
I mean, arguably, as far as current like wrestlers in the media, he's like the number 2 biggest star after The Rock. I mean, he's gone mainstream with so much.
So on that point, when the fans were talking, the fans weren't involved. The fans weren't allowed to get involved. Well, from our perspective, TV fans weren't allowed to get involved in the Miz and Ryback match because Jericho had stuff to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I actually had a note. What's the most important thing in the Miz Ryback match? And we all said
Jericho on commentary.
So
Yeah.
then at one point, all of a sudden, the match took off.
Yeah, and they went into that spot
knee
with the
getting
knee.
injured.
Yeah.
Miz grabbed the knee.
Yes.
There were 3 things. He grabbed the knee, he ran at the knee, and then he kicked the knee.
He did because I actually did this match recently. He caught the knee and did almost a stunner
first one.
over it. Yeah.
That's when the wrestling started.
Yes.
And this was selling
And the commentary changed, by the way.
Right, because all of a
Yeah,
sudden
they
they were
started
focusing
paying
on it
attention.
because on SmackDown the previous week, Fandango, or not, back on Fandango, Ryback complained about like a leg injury in a segment with Jericho. He was yelling like, "I'm injured. I'm not gonna like mess with you." So all of a sudden Miz started working on that injury, and then Ryback freaking just, I'm done. Like I give up.
But now here's the thing where Miz put over Ryback for Ryback and Y2J and then snuck out.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
taking
didn't
one for the
even see
team.
him leave.
That's
Yeah.
taking one for the team. I mean that's
Yeah,
good
because
props.
Miz has been working a program with Axel,
props.
and that was completely ignored tonight, and just got out
I'm
of the
sure
ring.
we'll see it again.
Yeah, we'll see more of it.
Essentially, Miz double drop kicks with both feet on the knee, and Ryback stops the match.
And
Ryback
then-
stops the
and
match.
then what happened?
Jericho comes in the ring and does the code breaker?
Yeah,
Yes.
which
Cobra.
Ryback didn't really take very well.
No.
Yeah.
How do you think they're handling Ryback right now? I mean, just listen, from a fan's point of view, I thought he was over with everybody, big time.
It's been down.
And then it's been, God, we get off the roller coaster.
They're
But
trying
he
to
didn't
change
do
a few
it.
of them. They went from the monster, and now he's the crybaby.
Well, but monster, but he was also over in a good way.
Yes.
He'd come out and the fans would go crazy for him.
Went crazy for
then
him
they took it away.
They took.
Am I wrong?
All right. Yeah. No, we have about 18 minutes
Okay.
to get to the rest of
Yes.
the show, so.
Keeping us on track. The
Yep.
one who talks the most.
I know.
Hey, there are people who were complaining about last week what he didn't get
Okay.
through. We got to get moving.
Mark Henry said, I pretended to like the boys.
I talk the
Before, I
most
just
when
wanna
he's
say-
not here.
Yeah. Before we get to Mark Henry,
I'm trying to move it along, Kathy.
Hey,
Doing my
okay.
best. Hey. What is going on here?
I love it. Okay. So before we
done
get to
my
Mark
two bits.
Henry, I just want to mention 2 more people that they had in the vignettes
Sure, go
was Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, who was just on Wife Swap against.
I DVR'd it. I need to watch it so
As we
bad.
said, moving the show along.
Okay. So yes, you can watch
You
that.
stopped
on
for
DVR.
that?
And
You
then
really stopped for
Mark
that?
Henry. Yeah, I want to mention it. It's a
Very
big
good
deal.
promo. It was a good promo. Very, very good promo.
So Mark Henry makes his entrance. Amazing.
They were being patronizing. I'm just letting you know. I'm watching out for you.
I'm going
watching out for you.
fast.
I'm watching out.
He's
I'm
on
trying
your
to talk
team.
They were
double
patronizing
time.
you.
No one ever lets me talk, so I have to talk double time when I,
I
do
just
get
told
a
you what a
chance.
great job you're doing.
I know, I'm kidding.
Didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I remember
I
hearing
love
it.
you.
She's part of team
Don't
building.
worry.
How
Team
much
building. You know about team building.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Okay, all right. Where you want to go, Mark Henry?
Okay, Mark Henry.
New T-shirt.
New T-shirt. Also, Daniel Bryan had a new T-shirt.
And
too,
Punk
we
did
didn't
too.
mention, yeah.
Lots of new merch
New
tonight.
gear. They need more money
They're
in the
made to sell
WWE.
merch.
Yeah, they don't have enough money. They don't have enough.
Yeah.
So
He said some strong
says,
stuff tonight.
I know I'm the strongest man in the world. All the nights I spent away from my family, all the years I spent pretending I liked the boys, I deserve to be the WWE champion. John Cena at Money in the Bank. I'm going to beat your ass.
You guys all
can't wait for this.
You guys all thought that the pretending to be one of the boys was an inside shot.
Oh, you said that.
No. You don't want to say that? Now he doesn't want to say that. Okay.
I never said
I just thought that's
Did
an.
you say that?
I thought that's an
I
interesting.
agreed with you
It's an
saying it.
interesting thing to say because boys is an inside term.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is totally
And for him to
inside.
say that, and he's taken on not just being a heel, but he's taken on the locker room too.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
He's trying to make that feel shooty. I mean, obviously, I don't think he probably really meant that, but they're trying to make it feel that way. And maybe he hates everybody.
I want him to be Cena so badly.
I do too.
He's going
We
to.
all agree that last
I
week
want him
was
to
one
win
of
the title, not just beat Cena.
Last week was one of the defining
Yeah, win the
moments for
title.
his career.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, the
completely.
retirement promo. Yeah.
As
He had
an-
me fooled.
I mean, I know-
Amazing on the mic.
Just real quickly, as an actor, what did you think of his performance?
Incredible. Had me sold. I mean, obviously you're looking for stuff. I didn't see. I mean, when Cena stayed, I knew something was coming.
Of course, there were like 4 or 5 clues. in
Something
there.
had to come, but he still sold it to the crowd. The thing about tonight was the crowd wanted. They wanted to do their thing, and he powered through it. He did
Yeah.
not stop. He was real strong.
They wanted him the whole time.
He controlled what he was doing. And he didn't let the crowd control him.
Right.
So we go back to the office. Bricky isn't back. Vince comes out and said, what did I
Mr.
say
McMahon.
about
Mr.
Vince?
McMahon.
Mr. McMahon comes out. Correct me for the 17th time.
You don't want to. You don't. No, I'm just saying. You don't want to call him Vince.
You don't call him Vince.
You don't call him
Okay.
Vince. I'm watching out for you again. You just don't even know.
Everyone's just see. It's not just me.
You don't even know.
Mr. McMahon doesn't watch.
Mr.
I'm
Building.
serious.
We're
No,
just more polite about it.
Yeah,
serious.
exactly. Well, I'm Ryan Morris.
If you
I'm a
call
jerk
him
about
Vince,
it.
you
That's
don't.
right.
You never met him. Let me just tell you.
Okay. So he says, what did I say about Daniel Bryan last week? You're not listening to me. The main event is awesome, but you're throwing away money. This should be on a pay-per-view. You're wasting all of our
And I love
potential
that.
And it's
dollars.
a great point.
He makes some great points, which
So
is
did
great.
you like that backstage?
I think that it's written very well, and as
that
you said, the
one.
triad.
How'd you like that one?
It was okay.
Just okay.
It was.
Because I think Mr. McMahon comes in and he's so good he overpowers everybody.
I think he was a lot better than Triple H.
You guys thought
I thought it was great.
that the guy with Vicky was actually literally
Brad,
scared.
yeah.
You
That's
thought
what I
Brad was
said,
scared.
yeah.
You guys
He
all
looked
thought.
I
scared.
mean, Mr. McMahon's an intimidating dude.
And
That
and
guy
he's
for
gotten
real.
yelled at by Mr.
Yeah.
McMahon
So
before.
that means to me that's how good that was because it actually convinced the guy
Yeah.
in the scene. Anyway.
So let's talk about CM Punk and Axel versus Primetime
Primetime
Players.
players. This was very,
Millions of
very
dollars.
interesting. I love that little tag in, as you were saying before, and Axel in for the entire, not entire match, but up until the hot tag.
I even
really,
said,
but-
I wonder if Punk's coming in.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it could have gone that way, but obviously you guys called it.
I was
Yeah, somebody at
surprised
the
he
hot
let him go
tag.
first, let Punk go first, and then we realized that it didn't really happen.
Yeah. they tagged him.
it's a little bit of
Boom.
the swerve. It was good though, but
And I
the
called
end
the
was
end. I called
excellent
the end,
too. Yeah, you did call the
Yeah,
end.
so-
Well, it made sense. You know, it was a good, and that's also
was.
once again, that's how good those three are working together.
Yeah, yeah.
And mad props to Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Matt, we talked about he's one of the top 2, 3.
I think 2 now.
Top 2 guys.
I think you got Bobby Heenan and Paul Heyman.
Seriously.
I think he's jumped everybody except Bobby. I don't know.
Bobby the Brain.
In my opinion, no one will ever jump Bobby. I mean, he could in everyone else's
Well,
opinion,
just say
but
they're
to me,
equal.
Bobby
No.
is the best.
What else you want to talk about, Kathy?
Just Punk gets on the top rope, yells "best in the world," which I loved, and then knocks out Darren Young.
Yeah.
Titus,
what happens?
Well, then Axel gets in the ring and pins Darren Young.
How'd he get in the ring?
Because he tagged him well.
Well, what happened?
Punk was
Seriously.
distracted by Titus O'Neil.
Punk goes from the rope, takes the guy down, it gets distracted, is about to make and then what happens? Boom, on the shoulder. Not a legit tag.
Yep.
It's story. That's the only reason I'm harping on this. It's great story.
And you know what I love? Punk just sits there pissed.
Yes.
Just hooks the rope and sits there like, you jerk.
he
Well,
knows.
He's not
so
yelling. He's not
angry.
yelling, but he's just like.
Yeah, he doesn't get out. He just
What
sits
is
there and
this?
stares and knows what's going on. He's not going to pull him off and yell at him. He just
Yes.
sits there like, you jerk.
But seriously,
Like, what was the point of that?
From an actor's point of view, if you know you can wait and you can wait and you can wait and you still
Yes.
hold him, how good is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the guy.
That's one of the things I'm trying to learn in wrestling now. It's
experience,
it's a learned
It's harder to
art.
do than it seems.
It's a learned art. Yeah, I did a little bit something actually this weekend where I was put into a ankle lock and I was going.
I'm
for
sorry,
the
we're out
ropes.
of time.
I'm
We got to keep going.
The fans
That was
started-
too easy.
That was amazing.
I'm sorry, that was too easy.
But the fans started
Come on.
chanting "Tap at me,"
I'm
and
sorry.
I milked it.
I
That
owe
was-
you. Look, I'm so sorry. That was too
No,
easy.
It was
I-
amazing.
you don't deserve that.
No, I totally do.
I've been
And-
hitting her
20
all
minutes
night.
left.
I had to get you. See,
Caitlyn versus Alicia Fox.
spear. Great
I got
spear.
credit
Great
for
Like a
spear.
match.
building.
Great spear.
Such
I
a
got
short match,
spear,
but yeah.
spear.
And then this all set it up for AJ to come out.
I want to say that wasn't. I've given her a hard time on her spear. That was an amazing spear, best one I've ever
Finally.
seen her do. And also the stuff
It could
she
be
was
credit
doing,
to Alicia.
Yeah, and I like the AJ stuff she's been doing the last couple shows. They didn't do it again, but she's been
Yes.
pretending to be AJ, and she did an excellent
Now,
job.
I-
as
You mean
that.
pretending to be AJ was pretending
No,
to be
Caitlyn
Caitlyn.
And on
pretending to be
SmackDown,
AJ.
Caitlyn
They've done both.
Yeah, on main event and SmackDown, she was pretending to be AJ and did a great
and I
job.
said something to you guys. Do you think that she's gaining a little weight? And then they did a weight bit on her.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
old
Ooh.
pictures of
Well,
Caitlyn,
they faked.
doctored obviously,
Yeah.
but it was her.
No, that
Those
was a
are
real
fake?
picture. That was a
Very
real
fake.
picture.
What?
It was real.
No,
That's what I thought.
I thought so too. Come on. So funny.
Back to the office. Bricky is in back, and we see Stephanie, which
Who's
we
in
talked
back?
about a little bit. Bricky, Team Bricky, Vicky
That's-
Guerrero, and Brad Maddox. That's
All
what they
right.
call
All
themselves.
right. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It makes it faster to say.
I like that.
So,
Well, it's just rub against the clock.
yes. Stephanie
Stephanie
comes out
McMahon.
and says that Vicky isn't doing a good job. Vicky ends up breaking down. Stephanie says, "I've been there. How can I help you?" Vicky starts making fun of Triple H.
But wait.
Mr. McMahon. Yeah.
You missed seriously, you missed the setup. The thing when she guided her in says, I understand what's going on. I understand how it's hard to listen to two people and all that. And then Vicky starts feeling like she can say whatever she wants. And then Stephanie turns on her.
Yeah.
That was a really good turn.
Yeah,
When
and
did
it
we
was good.
become girlfriends?
And it made
I'm here
sense,
for you in a
too.
business capacity, but you can't joke
Right.
around about my husband and my father.
And it was a good move by Vicky too. That's very kind of heelish, and she's
Very
starting
good.
to
Yep.
think, "Oh, we're in, so I
Yeah.
can say whatever I want."
I just
And-
say I love the women.
It's very good.
Those two women are great. And I know Brad's really good. Bricky.
Bricky.
It's really good too.
Yes. Stephanie McMahon says that we're going to do a public job evaluation next Monday night at Raw. You could either be promoted or
fired.
you could be terminated.
No, she
could
that's
be
the
the
great thing.
official GM.
She goes, that's the great thing about Raw. It's all, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You could be promoted, or you could be fired.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Or
great.
Brad can get
We were talking
promoted next
about
week. Brad
how
is getting
Brad
promoted
getting
next week.
promoted.
Brad
Like
is
to
getting
see
promoted
Brad
next
promoted?
week.
How awesome
Brad
would it be
GM.
if Brad gets promoted and she's his assistant?
I think it would be hilarious. I don't think that it would last more than a week.
Yeah, probably not.
Vicky's too important.
Yeah.
And I think
She's-
that-
Well,
she
keep
is.
her on TV.
Yeah.
I won't. I would
In
think
a
it'd be
different
hilarious. if
capacity.
Brad-
It would be
yeah.
absolutely hilarious.
And we've rushed through this so far. Now we're in great shape.
Well, we've got about. Well, if we want to spend 10 minutes talking about your movie,
Yeah.
No.
which we do,
All right.
we do.
All right, what
So-
about no Ricardo?
No
Well,
Ricardo
we're gonna
today
talk about
injured,
that in a little-
but
It's next,
Yeah.
isn't it?
RVD.
Oh no,
We've got
not
RVD
quite
and
yet.
then Cody.
First,
See,
we
I
get an
didn't care- I
RVD
didn't
promo.
care.
He's coming back at Money in the Bank. Crowds chanting RVD, RVD. And then we go to Rhodes Scholars makes their entrance. Sandow says, in 2 weeks, we will be at Money in the Bank, and we will be competing in the ladder
And we'll
match
still
for
be
World
friends,
Heavyweight contract, and we will remain best friends.
Now,
BFFs.
I said to you, I don't care about this match, and you said, here's why.
I think there's two heels. There's no one for the audience to care about. You know, there's no one for them to get behind. So
Explain the history and the
Cesaro
dynamic.
versus-
because
It's a
the
really good
idea
point.
is the babyface, you need to get behind him. He does these cool moves. You like this guy, and then he's getting beat up, and you get sympathy for him, so you care about him to come back to win. There's nobody that we cared about, so there's no sympathy for the person during the heat. Hence, you have a dead audience.
There you
That's
go.
why heel versus heel doesn't work. And we were talking about this. You
We actually
like the
disagree
idea.
about
we
this.
disagree about this. The Money in the Bank World Title match is all heels, and I'm saying I don't think I think the fans are going to take a crap on this match. We'll see. There's going to be cool spots. There's going to be
Right.
but there's going to be no emotional
Punk a
investment.
heel?
Well, the WWE title one,
and that's all faces,
It's all faces,
which you can do.
The heavyweight title one is
'Cause
all heels.
Everyone cares about they care about all those guys, but they don't care about any of these guys on the world title. So, you know, and some people go, but I like so and so. The majority of the audience 80% of the audience are against the heels, so they're not going to care about this. There's no one for them to get behind.
And
You're
the
gonna have big
Zeb
moments, but no
Cesaro
emotion.
dynamic, I don't get it anyway.
Right, but what I'm super intrigued with that match though is because normally like heel one-on-one match, bad idea because there's no one for the crowd to get behind. When you're gonna have 7 of them in that match, the crowd, I'm intrigued to see if the crowd gets behind one guy.
They won't. I don't think
and
they're
to
gonna
see
get behind anyone.
which
Do you
one
think
it
we'll
will
get a
be.
turn?
Unless it's
Maybe
designed.
someone turns face?
I don't know if necessarily
have to
turn,
design it.
but I could see the crowd getting behind somehow either Fandango or Ambrose
It'll
in
be
that match.
spontaneous. It'll be spontaneous.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, so did you say that you don't see Zeb and Cesaro together? You
I don't get
understand it.
Well, because I
Well, it's
understand
because-
it. I understand
yeah.
it, but I'm like, okay.
You're just not a Cesaro fan.
Yeah, no, it's not. I'm not as much because he hasn't won me over yet.
Yeah.
I know he's a great skilled
wrestler.
guy, and you're a big fan of his. I totally get that. But I just Cody
character.
Rhodes. I know Cody's with the Rhodes family and with Dusty and Goldust and all that kind of stuff. So we have history there. But I don't have a reason to care.
I hear you. I mean, supposedly internally backstage,
I don't hate him.
they love Cesaro as a wrestler. They think
Yes, he
he's,
is.
but he's boring. Like he
I think
hasn't
he's an
connected.
amazing
Boring
A lot of people
wrestler,
think
yeah.
a lot of people think he's boring.
I liked when he was
personally
yodeling
don't,
for a little bit,
yeah.
but then that got
I
crushed
hated that.
because, oh my
they will
god.
find.
And who came to ringside with Zeb tonight?
Swagger.
Swagger, yeah.
Swagger's back.
I think
Swagger's back. Back again.
Cesaro will find his character.
You better hurry.
Yeah.
They'll find it. Takes years.
Where do you want
sometimes.
to go next, Kathy?
2 other people. Well, Cesaro wins. And then 2 other people that got mentioned tonight, Triple H, Booker T in the past titles.
Yep.
Why no mention of David Arquette for the World Heavyweight
Oh,
Champion?
come on, please.
I did. Listen, I
never
did a
gonna
roast
happen.
with David Arquette of the Iron Sheik a couple weeks ago at the Comedy Store, and David proudly wears his title. You know,
We've been trying to get him in here.
he's the best.
Yeah.
He's really good.
So backstage, we also get Bella's talking to Eva Marie and JoJo,
This is the worst.
new divas.
This is terrible.
It's not good.
Simply to
but
sell
I
the
love-
show.
Yeah,
I
it's to
love
sell
that
the
we get
show,
introduced
whatever.
to Eva Marie and JoJo because we have all known of them for several months now.
JoJo debuted on main
Weird,
event
though.
last
Well,
week.
yes, but
The
We haven't
cutting
seen
on
Eva
this
Marie
was
yet.
strange. We had the normal wide shot that we get.
I'm
and
sorry,
then,
director, not good shots.
Then cutting,
Yeah.
and I think maybe they were trying to do something because of the reality show to make it reality film, but
it
was
didn't look live.
It was
looked
terrible.
wasn't staged well.
disjointed from the rest of the show.
They kept cutting to 2 shots and then the wide. It was
well, they
very
tried
weird.
to do the handheld thing and it didn't work.
It almost made me think of remember the Super Bowl match where Mick Foley's down and they cut to his POV of the thing falling on him and it like
Listen,
takes you.
there's a
takes
reason
you out of
directors
it.
do a 2-shot. They do a master shot. There's a reason they shoot here. There's a reason to shoot there
Yes.
because you go where the focus is. You are not allowed to focus on this. That's what happened. You were not directed to have focus. And they went to the crowd watching the screen again, which takes you out of what's really going on.
They did it for every backstage promo.
It distracted every backstage promo. It
Yeah.
took you out of the thing and then took you back.
Yeah, this is the worst segment they've had on Raw in a month.
But they did
I
get
think.
to utilize a lot of their divas.
They did, and they promoted.
They
the
promoted the
thing.
show.
They promoted the
Talia,
show.
Naomi,
And
Cameron,
because they're all on the show.
all of
Was
them,
this the
yeah.
first?
They're
was
all on
this-
the show.
Was this Eva Marie's first appearance?
This
on
was
that?
Eva Marie's first
all on
TV
the show.
appearance.
Yeah, they're all on the show.
JoJo's second appearance. Eva Marie's first,
Yes.
right? Okay.
With the red hair.
The redhead.
And
Red hair.
you're saying that she
Jo-
doesn't really like the red hair, but
You were
that's something
saying.
that they made
I
her do.
heard she hated it, but
Well, because we were talking about, we saw videos of her from before when she was
Yeah.
just trying out, and she looked exactly like a Bella. She
Yeah.
could have been a third Bella twin, Bella triplet.
yeah.
I mean, she's gorgeous
twin,
either way.
yeah.
But
Yeah, absolutely. I like the red hair.
We
I
have
like
to
it.
keep this thing moving.
Yes.
Come on. What are we talking about hair for?
13
That I
minutes
didn't mean to bring
We
up.
got the
Okay.
main event, and then
the Wyatt family promo, another one of those.
Get to
Then
it already.
Del Rio comes out. Ricardo's
Right.
not there because
Next
he's
week.
injured.
He got hurt from Ziggler.
Got hurt from
He really
Ziggler.
wasn't there. I mean, no,
Yeah.
if he was
Yeah.
hurt, he could still use his voice. Some reason he's not there.
yeah. The question was he backstage? Is he on the road? Is he really hurt?
Does he just
I
need
don't
time
know.
off?
Did he
I don't know.
Did he get benched for a reason?
Are they just selling the? Are they just selling an injury? I
know
don't
what I'm talking
know.
about?
I haven't.
I know exactly what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
They promo CM Punk's going to be on a special appearance on SmackDown this Friday.
Why is that a special appearance? There's no brand separation now.
Because
so
there
all of a
still
sudden-
is a little
supposed to
bit.
buy
There is
it.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Just buy
It's
it.
just like they
buy
talked
in.
about the
Yeah.
World's Heavyweight
Just
Money
give
in the
up.
Bank ladder match on SmackDown. They didn't do it on Raw last week.
And it's almost more like, I mean, they don't call it the Super Show, Raw Super Show anymore, but it's really more like the SmackDown guys come to Raw, but the Raw guys don't
It
really
was
go to
always
SmackDown.
like that.
Well,
But they actually separated it.
Until they separate,
Everyone
yeah.
wrestles on SmackDown except for Punk and Cena.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the only ones that don't show up on
But
SmackDown.
you know, I got to say once again, Mr. McMahon is making money.
Of course.
3 hours
Hand
here,
over
2 hours.
fist.
You pointed it out that they don't make it pay-per-view anymore so as much as they do.
Their business model has changed. It's TV advertising revenue. That's why even though we hate this third hour and we always talk about how it drags the show down,
don't like to watch it.
the revenue, they have a whole nother, they're not going to give that third hour of revenue up. It's until the show starts tanking because of it, they're not going to give up
When
that revenue.
else-
Too much of a good thing.
When else in the history of television have you ever seen a show that's allowed to go over? When else? Ever.
Yeah.
They're the only
mean,
show
the
I know.
sporting events.
They stay with them.
Like Super Bowl, the Oscars,
Yeah.
and every Monday for
WWE.
Raw.
Yeah.
And every Monday for Raw.
And, yeah.
Because USA doesn't get those numbers anywhere else.
But that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Cena versus Del Rio match. Champ versus champ. Should have been on a pay-per-view. Should it have been on Raw?
If it was on a pay-per-view, then the title should have been on the line.
Yes. Yeah.
That was
absolutely.
just for story. That's all it was.
Yeah.
That was to get Vicky in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is a great
Yeah,
setup
and
for a
you're
match.
100% correct. It would have to be unification for it to be a pay-per-view.
Yes.
Yeah. Lots of great kickouts and false finishes during this match. Very long, too.
Cena always works great with Del Rio. Anytime the two of them have a match, it's like their
Well, they're
best
good.
match.
They're good.
They're both very good, but for some reason, sometimes when one of them works with someone, it might not be as good a match, but the two of them together always have excellent matches.
Story in W&W, Ricardo's getting more response than Del Rio in the introductions.
Right.
What do you guys think about that?
I
That
can see
Ricardo's
it.
getting more response?
Does
yeah.
that take away from Del Rio, or does that matter?
I don't think that it takes away from Del Rio. It just makes Ricardo look more like a mouthpiece than, even though he's not.
Yeah, he's not. But he doesn't. Del Rio doesn't really need a mouthpiece. But I mean,
Ricardo's lovable.
I think Ricardo
means
has propped Del
sometimes
Rio
you
up.
move.
I really do.
Yeah, and all that tells me is if Ricardo's getting that popular, well, maybe it's almost time to put Ricardo on. Maybe it's not time yet, but eventually he's going to
Split
need to
him
go on
up.
his own. He's so talented.
guys will probably-
He's a great wrestler too.
you'll probably disagree
He's a
with me.
phenomenal wrestler.
Because you need some out here, right?
He wrestles as El Local on NXT
But
sometimes.
you guys will probably disagree with me. But I think if Ricardo doesn't come in with Del Rio is not what he is today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
without a
100% agree.
I don't
with
know why you would split
100%.
up something that's such a good thing.
Thank you.
Things over time,
you have to
eventually have
Over
to.
a very
Team
long
Kelco here.
time.
But it's been
Kelco.
3 years with them.
Yeah, it's
Team
been 3
Kelly.
years.
We're Team Kelly right now.
Kelly capacity.
And one thing I want to say about this match too is they teased the comeback a couple times, or we think they're going into the
Yep.
comeback, the 5
Yep.
moves and Doob. It's just a hope spot. They're shutting them down. And
What was that one move you liked? The one where the spin move. Cena goes up and does a total spin up
That's-
top.
yeah.
You had there's a special way you got to grip it because you actually worked on it.
The tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Oh, tilt-a-whirl! Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Yes.
Yes! Say it again!
Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Yeah.
Thank you!
And that's it.
I love that move.
Yeah, it's a great move, and it took me a lot longer to learn to take it than to give it. It's pretty easy to give. To take, it's weird because you're cartwheeling and then having to then tuck your head and go over and get your arm under. It's a weird move to take.
So Mark Henry comes out, distracts Cena while
Followed
Del Rio's followed by Ziggler coming out, distracts Del Rio.
Chewing gum.
Cena ends up winning.
The gum's back.
Getting the win.
And Del Rio in this match also, he nailed top rope Insaguri, and then we went for a second time and Cena ducked, but the first one just looked awesome, and the way that Cena just like slowly fell. And just like it was almost like a timber. I thought it was awesome.
We made great time. I just have to say that.
Gotta say at the end.
Yeah.
The Cena and Mark Henry.
Yes.
Tension held.
Yes.
Amazing.
Two great pros. working something that other people would not have handled as well. The tension held throughout.
They didn't have to do much, but it totally.
Oh, they were so focused,
timing
guys.
was
so
perfect.
focused, perfect.
We have to mention, Henry grabs the title, brings it to the center, scares Cena. Cena
throws it
looks
down.
terrified.
We got to
throws it
talk
down.
about my movie. Can you hurry this up?
Okay.
Come on. I gotta hurry.
And then as Mark Henry's
My
exiting,
movie.
taps to his wrist and says, "There's not enough time to talk about your movie, John Cena." No.
Well, just quickly too,
anytime I see
it was perfect how Cena had the belt there and he's wanting to go grab his title, and Mark Henry's like, "Do it." It's almost like,
Yeah.
you're gonna do it, and it was really well done.
Cathy got me in
made Mark look like a monster. Didn't make Cena look weak at all, but
I think it made him look a little weak.
It didn't make him look like
I gotta get
worse.
ready.
One person talking at a time.
It made him realize.
Whoa.
It made him
Snap. All three of us.
I was just gonna say because our fans hate it, but anyways.
I just say it made.
After 3 times hosting, she's just like, oh, it's my show now.
But the way.
As I break a chair.
But it made Cena realize that he has a fight ahead of him.
It worked. It
worked very well.
It showed equal respect. It didn't make him weak.
Nope.
Just it made him aware.
So we end Raw with a Wyatt family promo.
When was the last time
Very odd.
a show ended with a video package of someone that has yet to debut?
Very
They're
strange.
really.
They're really pushing this.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
Love it.
All
so,
right, movies.
Let's talk about Million Ways.
I had
to Die in
the
This.
job. I've had some really good jobs. I've got to work with Albert Finney and have him tell me about all the wonderful actors in England just off stage. And I'm great thing with Scott Bakula and Men of a Certain Age, and worked on the West Wing, things like that. One of my all-time favorite things has just been a couple weeks ago, where Seth MacFarlane, who is a genius,
Amazing.
Yeah.
and for a lot of reasons. And he has co-written, and he's directing, and he's producing, exec producing, and acting, starring in his first film.
He's directing and starring in it.
And it's called
Renaissance Man.
A Million Ways to Die in the West. And there's, you name it, there's all the A people in town are in this movie. And
Charlize Theron.
I am blessed to be in a scene that has Neil Patrick Harris, Amanda Seyfried from Les Mis, who's a Saved by the Bell fan. Unbelievable to me. I go, no, girl, you don't get it. I like you. And my scene was in Seth MacFarlane and Charlize Theron's piece. And I got to hang all week with Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
How lucky.
You poor guy.
Liam Neeson's in the film as well, right?
Liam Neeson came in after I left. I mean, it's just.
Did you say Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor was around saying hi to Amanda.
So you had Obi-Wan
All-star
Kenobi
cast.
and Qui-Gon
and Moulin Rouge.
Talking nerdy right
Yeah,
now.
it's very good.
Getting all nerdy.
That's nerdy for me.
But this is going to be one of those films, you guys. Everybody in town is going to that's really good is going to be in this film, and somehow I was lucky to be in a
That's
small
excellent.
piece. A Million Ways to Die in the West
Because
coming
you're
out in May.
talented. That's why you're in.
They were very complimentary to the job.
And you're
I
a
did.
legend.
Yeah.
Well,
So
in my
this
own
is
mind.
it's a comedy western.
It's a comedy western. Well, it's Seth MacFarlane. What do you think?
I mean, obviously it's going to be comedy.
It's going to be drama.
Western?
It's a horror
Tragedy.
film. It's like torture horror.
There's a lot of F-bombs. I'm just going to tell you. Don't take the
sure.
kids.
Wait,
But-
Seth MacFarlane with F-bombs?
But for somebody in my position, I had a nice run with a bunch of people and all that. To get to work with people at this level doesn't happen every day, and I was it's just a wonderful thing. So I hope it's as good as my experience. I hope you guys get a chance to see it.
And it's got a summer
It'll
2014
be
release date.
May 2014.
Perfect.
I'm
Look at her.
really
She knows.
excited to see it.
Summer 2014, coming to a theater near you.
I did a little bit of research.
Maybe you'll have to come talk and chatting with Cathy.
How many
about
shows?
it.
Wait, can I just
Yeah.
let's just talk about Cat? Seriously.
Yes,
How
let's
many
talk about
shows? How many shows you produce?
Produce?
6. Or are you working on?
we
Working
do
on
60 shows a
60
week,
shows.
yeah.
60, folks, and you're hosting this, and you're nice to me. You're nice to everybody, and you work with a lot of people.
I'm
So
not nice to everyone.
Well, then you're
Plum,
nice to
I'm
me.
really
You're
mean
nice to
to
me.
her.
Thank you very much.
You should see this.
She beats him.
I'm just saying.
She sends me texts. I'm going to bed. I hate you.
I'm really truly with all
sucks.
all kidding aside.
Yeah.
It's very impressive what you do, and I really appreciate getting a chance to be here with all you
Well,
guys.
thank you. We
Well, thank
always
you.
love having you in.
Yeah.
You are
Cathy
a pleasure to have on our
Kelley.
show.
Cathy Kelley.
Dennis Haskins.
Dennis Haskins.
We gotta pass it around the room now.
Well,
Ryan
I just got the
Clum.
wrap
Hey,
up.
give it up for your
Wrap
producer.
up
Give it up for your
and-
producer.
I yell at people
Yeah,
when they
and
cheer.
then-
So.
Props in the booth. Props in the
Steven,
booth.
you
Yes.
were
Thank
amazing
you.
tonight.
Yeah.
So we've got to wrap up the show.
We had
If
no
people
little
wanna
photo. We
find
had no
you-
little Mr. Belding memes pop up during.
He did?
He usually like will make fun of us and we'll have a little Photoshop.
Why would he make fun of Mr. Belding?
Yeah, right.
There's nothing to make fun of.
He's on a different level than you, Ryan.
I know. I agree.
I'm just older, Ryan.
100%.
Ryan, I'm just older.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
You're over. That's what I mean. Over like in wrestling.
I get it. Thank you.
I have to say they should have used Big E more tonight, just because he's from Iowa. Or he went to school in
Big E.
Iowa.
Where was Big E tonight?
Well,
he was out there with AJ.
But they bill him. His character is billed from Tampa.
I know, but he played football for University of Iowa.
Yeah, he was out there for a second.
Hey, how lucky are we to get to talk about something we love with all these great stars?
It was amazing.
Awesome.
This was so much fun tonight. You were awesome,
Yes, you
as
were.
always.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming
Hopefully
in.
we'll have you back again.
You're not mad at me for busting you a couple times?
No, I thought it was hilarious.
Good. It was all in fun.
So, where can people find you on Twitter and whatever else you want to
At
plug?
MR Belding, at Mr. Belding on Twitter, and on Instagram at Real Mr. Belding, MR Belding.
Cool. Clum?
You can find me at Cluminator, and also next week, Pappy Panatidome, I'm going to be promoting, helping with Brian Kendrick promote my very first ever show. I helped book the talent, a couple of the matches I booked. I will be taking on. I'll be taking on Che Cabrera, who won Rookie of the Year. We were kind of the top 2 rookies in Southern California.
Congratulations!
So
Last but not least,
we will be heading wrestling finally.
Yep. And you can follow me on Twitter at CRosaVOC. I'm going to be there as well because I'm going to be calling his match.
He's going to be commentating for us.
And also,
Give us a sample.
Yeah, and we have Joey Ryan from TNA on.
I am professional wrestling's voice of choice, Christian Rosenberg, Mr. Belling.
Yes!
And whenever I step on the microphone, you get the greatest commentary in the history of professional wrestling.
Yes!
In fact,
I'm Daniel Bryan.
The Insane Wrestling League just the other night had over 3,500 live viewers on Roku for our show. You can watch that on demand at theiwl.com.
Yes!
So at CRosaVOC for me. No! Cathy, how can people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley. You can find me doing a million shows here at AfterBuzz TV,
Or
including
60.
chatting with Cathy, which, Belding, you should come on.
Yes.
Mr. Belding or my office, one of the two. You choose.
Thank you again for coming on.
Yeah!
My pleasure.
Make sure,
pleasure.
mark your
thanks.
calendars, put it in permanent marker, Million Ways to Die, May 2014.
For a lot of other reasons than me.
You'll get to see him on the big
But
screen.
you're one of those reasons still.
People die in the West.
And
I'm just telling you.
hopefully we'll get to have you in at least one more time before that happens.
Maybe.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe.
Well, until next week.
You don't call me Belding.
Mr. Belding.
Thank you very much. I'll be back.
Mr. Haskins. We'll be back.
Dennis.
You heard it first.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.